Now at 10 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, two fugitives are captured after months on the run, how investigators tracked them down and what both are accused of.
Vaccine education promoted across the crossroads, why officials stress immunizations for students.
Plus, major upgrades underway at Victoria Regional Airport, when flights resume and what's being improved.
We'll be taking a look at tomorrow's forecast that has another round of thunder showers possible. Lots of moisture rolling into our area. And then we'll talk about a cold front coming in this weekend. Cool front. We'll have more coming up.
And tonight it is Tuesday night volleyball action here in the Crossroads. We'll highlight two top games later on in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Shauna Curry.
And I'm Don Brubaker.
Lavaca County deputies say two men with outstanding warrants are now back behind bars. Working with Homeland Security, deputies arrested Roberto Salazar Nunez, a Mexican national wanted since 2022 for multiple counts of indecency with a child. Investigators say he had been deported before but re-entered the U.S. and returned to Lavaca County. He is now in the county jail awaiting magistration on those charges and an immigration detainer. And in a separate case, the Attorney General's Fugitive Apprehension Unit arrested registered sex offender Travis Bingham in Houston. He was indicted in June for failing to comply with sex offender registration requirements. Deputies say he had moved out of Lavaca County, but investigators tracked him down with the help from the OAG.
The West Texas measles outbreak has been a huge topic this summer, but in the Crossroads, we're immune from the spread.
25 News Now reporter Trenton Whiting joins us to give us more information on Victoria's vaccination rates against this disease. Trenton?
Don, Shauna, thank you. It might be better to say the Crossroads were immunized from the spread, as Crossroads counties, especially Victoria County, boasted high childhood vaccination rates. There were no confirmed measles cases throughout the entire Crossroads. And I spoke with some members of the county public health department to speak on these high rates and the importance of keeping them high. Crossroads schools are doing well with vaccines, according to the CDC. The 25 News Now vaccine report shows high vaccination rates for school-aged children, helping keep the Crossroads safe from the rampant spread of measles earlier this year.
But overall, our vaccination rates, specifically for MMR, the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine, is very high.
We spoke with Public Health Department Director David Gonzalez the first week of school, and he says vaccines are vital to prevent these kinds of diseases.
Unfortunately, there was a large pocket of unvaccinated individuals. That really allowed measles to take off in that community.
Nursing manager Teresa Gonzalez gave a presentation Tuesday night at the Texas A&M Coastal Bend Health Education Center, speaking on the importance of vaccine education.
That is very important for children to stay up to date, especially going into school. We would just want to make sure that we keep everyone protected at the same time.
New laws have been proposed to allow families more options to receive vaccine exemptions for their children, but medical experts still say it's important to stay up to date.
You're protecting yourself, but you are also protecting the others around you.
Trenton Whiting, KAVU TV, 25 News Now.
Northside Road is set for a major rebuild. Victoria County and the City of Victoria are teaming up on the $605,000 project to rebuild nearly 2 miles in Precinct 2. Work starts with drainage improvements, with full construction kicking off in September. Commissioner Jason Ort says it's been a long-time priority and he's glad to see it moving forward through the city-county partnership.
Flights to and from the Victoria Regional Airport will take off again next week. Improvements at the airport are on schedule. The projects include runway reconstruction, a new electronic monitoring system, restrooms and air conditioning in the air traffic control tower, along with upgrades to the parking lot and terminal building. Flights resume next Friday, September 5th. The upgrade projects should be complete within the next year, weather permitting.
Drivers on Cologne Road in Victoria County could be in for some delays. A bridge is now closed earlier than planned. Work to rebuilding the bridge on Cologne Road near Cologne Road South was supposed to start on September 8th, but an inspection of the bridge forced the road to be closed immediately and until further notice due to safety concerns. Drivers should find an alternate route in the meantime.
Potholes are more than a nuisance. They can damage vehicles, drain wallets, and frustrate drivers. We've been taking a closer look at why they're popping up, what's being done to fix them, and where the worst ones are. We found these at Polk and Lawrence Streets. We want you to show us the potholes that are hindering your commute. You can email a picture or video to staff@crossroadstoday.com.
And here's your viewer poll today. How should city and county officials prioritize road projects? A, repair the most dangerous roads first. B, focus on high traffic routes. C, prioritize roads with the most community complaints. Or D, complete projects that are already underway. Overwhelmingly, the voters say repair the most dangerous roads first at 71%. And David Murray says, quote, we as a city should complete work already started, and when there is a window, take care of high priority work before starting any new work, unquote. Thank you, David. We want to hear from you. Visit crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part, and thank you for voting.
All right, we're expecting a cool front. We're Max making sure that we don't expect anything frigid or a huge change.
But we'll take the rain we got today, Mac.
Yeah, I just don't want you running around getting your sweaters out. You know, it's just not just yet. All right. Here's what we had today. Of course, all that tropical moisture rolled back up into the area. And so we have at this very moment some shower activity north up toward the Hallettsville area, also to the southwest of San Antonio where the biggest stuff is occurring. We're going to see even early morning sea breeze showers roll back in. So we have a continuation of that activity. Then it gets hot, and then we talk about the cool front. All that coming up in a moment. Back to you.
Goliad County is the latest county in the Crossroads to go under a burn ban. That means no outdoor burning unless you have a permit approved by emergency management. Officials are urging everyone to use extreme caution with any outdoor activity, especially equipment that could spark a fire. And if you see smoke or flames, you are asked to call the sheriff's office right away. Meanwhile, the burn ban in Calhoun County was lifted today. All controlled burns must be called in beforehand to the sheriff's department.
The NAACP is suing to block Texas' new congressional maps. The organization argues the maps discriminate on racial grounds. Last week, Texas Republicans passed a plan to redraw the state's congressional lines in an effort to help the GOP gain as many as 5 House seats in the 2026 midterms. The NAACP amended litigation it brought against Texas congressional maps drawn in 2021. At the time, the group also argued that those maps were racially discriminatory. Governor Greg Abbott ceremonially signed 3 bills into law to protect Texans against threats from hostile foreign adversaries like Russia, Iran, and China. The governor was joined by State Senator Lois Kolkhorst. She co-authored Senate Bill 17 that bans certain countries, individuals, and organizations from buying real property in Texas.
A popular raw pet food brand is recalling some of its products because they could make your pet sick. The Viva Raw dog and cat food could be contaminated with salmonella and listeria. The recall includes several beef, turkey, and chicken varieties. You should contact your veterinarian immediately if your pet has consumed any of these products. The food was sold nationwide between July 2nd and August 21st. You should throw out the affected products and contact Viva Raw for a refund. We've been following the story of Garfield the cat over the last several weeks. Garfield was found on August 13th, dumped behind Las Palmas, was in pretty bad health, but he has since been recovering, and you can get a full update on him at crossroadstoday.com. And we are streaming 24/7 on crossroadstoday.com, so you'll never miss your news, weather, or sports updates. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10, ICE is hosting a job fair. Why big bonuses are fueling controversy.
Also ahead, a deadly turnpike crash triggers new rules. How language proficiency and immigration checks are expanding.
Our military hero of the month is Seaman First Class Harry Heil. Harry Heil will be 100 years old next month, so this is an early recognition. Harry Heil was born in Goliad, and after high school, he and 3 friends decided to enlist in the services to defend their country.
We were all in high school, and we all graduated, so we decided it was time to defend our country, so we decided to volunteer, but we just missed it, but it was over We got to San Antonio, and that's as far as we got.
Harry served in the Navy, but was never assigned to a ship. He served in the Navy, but was never a pilot. Usually, Navy sailors get to see the world, but not Harry. Harry served in the Navy and never left Corpus Christi Naval Air Station.
When I got to Corpus, I was one of the few that had shorthand and typing in high school. And so when I got into the office, there was an old chief, petty chief officer, he called him Porky, and he needed, somebody had driver's license. Well, I had driver's license. I was one of the few, and that's what I did. Drove that old chief around every day. That was my job.
During World War II, Naval Air Station Corpus Christi was a hub of activity repairing naval aircraft.
When they need fixing, they brought them to us, and we'd fix them. They were B-24 and B-32 and all kind of planes. Most of them are still they still would go. They just need a lot of repairs, that's all. We had 3 big hangars, and all the planes that were shot up and need repairs, that's what we did. It was called assembly and repair.
After the war, Harry came back to Goliad and married his high school sweetheart. Then he and his brother-in-law built a feed store, and the Goliad Feed Company has been in existence for 80 years.
He borrowed $10,000 from his dad, and we opened up a Goliad Feed Company. And so after he was a school teacher, after I'd say about 3 months or so, he decided he didn't like the feed business.
Local producers have relied on the feed store for generations.
I sold cow feed, I sold hog feed, I sold chicken feed, I sold horse feed, I sold hog feed, I sold chicken feed, turkey feed. Well, my biggest O'Connor was my biggest account. We took him a truckload of feed every day. And then we had the Lazy F Ranch in Berkeley. That was our second biggest account. Until the big feed mills came in, like Fuller Pep and Purina, I had about 95% of the business for quite a few years.
So Seaman Harry left his chief petty officer, Porky, there at the base, and they never saw each other after working together for 4 years.
Well, when he was still there on the base, when I left him, see, when I served my time, I wanted to get married. I came back to Goliad.
And you were done with the Navy?
I was done with the Navy, right.
You were ready to start a whole new life?
But I had a good Navy life. It wasn't bad.
He is one of the last 2 World War II veterans living in Goliad County. Seaman First Class Harry Heil, from his service in World War II to his service to animal producers in Goliad County, is our military hero of the month. If you know a veteran and you want to tell us their story, go to our website, crossroadstoday.com/military hero, and tell us about it. I'm Maclovio Perez, 25 News Now.
A California family is suing OpenAI and its CEO, claiming ChatGPT encouraged their teen son's suicide. The parents of 16-year-old Adam Rain accused the bot of advising him on suicide methods and even offered to draft a note. They say Adam started using ChatGPT last year for schoolwork, but soon shared his anxiety and distress with the bot. The family also claims the system isolated him from loved ones. They are seeking damages and want age verification for all users. OpenAI says it's reviewing the case and extended sympathies.
The Trump administration is bringing back neighborhood checks for people applying for U.S. citizenship. That means investigators will look into where applicants live and work on top of background and biometric checks already in place. It's the latest move to tighten vetting. Earlier this month, officials also announced plans to screen applicants' social media for signs of what they called anti-Americanism. A job fair in Arlington is drawing applicants to join Immigration and Customs Enforcement. ICE plans to hire 1,000 new officers over 2 days, with signing bonuses up to $50,000. The push follows a law devoting $170 billion to immigration enforcement. The event also drew protesters speaking out against Trump policies. Another ICE recruiting event is set for next month in Utah.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says California, Washington, and New Mexico are facing federal action for not enforcing English proficiency rules for commercial truck drivers.
The move comes just a day after Florida announced it will use its agricultural inspection stations as immigration checkpoints. Sherelle Hubbard has more.
A deadly crash involving a semi-truck driver on the Florida Turnpike is at the center of tougher enforcement for all commercial drivers. Investigators say earlier this month, Harjinder Singh, a native of India, made an illegal U-turn on the highway, causing a crash that killed 3 people, and federal officials say when interviewed, he failed an English language proficiency test.
We lost 3 people for no purpose, no reason.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said Tuesday commercial drivers need to be able to read road signs and speak English proficiently. States are to adopt and enforce English language proficiency requirements or risk losing federal funding.
And if they can't do that, that creates a significant issue for the traveling public.
In Florida, the Attorney General announced on Monday that all truck inspection stations for agricultural products will also serve as ICE checkpoints.
There's no telling how many illegal aliens are in this country driving large commercial vehicles and putting American families in a safety risk.
And at least one truck driver favors the crackdown.
You're messing it up for the rest of the truckers.
But others say the increased scrutiny is not needed.
DOT are doing an excellent job at examining us, inspecting us.
I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
California, Washington, and New Mexico have 30 days to enforce English proficiency rules for commercial drivers or risk losing all their federal safety funding.
Right now, 19 states and D.C. issue commercial licenses regardless of immigration status.
The U.S. pulled in $22 billion in tariffs last Friday, pushing this month's total to nearly $30 billion, already topping last month's record. The spike came from deferred payments due on imports. Meanwhile, the duty-free exemption for goods under $800 ends this week, and tariffs on most Indian goods will double to 50% starting tomorrow.
Cracker Barrel is scrapping its new modernized logo after intense backlash. The company said the new logo will go away and the old-timer will remain. For days, the 56-year-old country-themed restaurant chain has been criticized by loyal fans and recently by President Trump. Hours after Cracker Barrel announced it was going back to the old look, Trump congratulated the company, saying all their fans appreciate it.
Well, good evening, everybody. We are looking at 78 degrees today. We had a round of afternoon thunderstorms. Actually, we started off with some rain early this morning, about 8 o'clock. Wasn't big. We got up to a high of 92, and then the clouds really built up. Managed to get 0.38 of an inch of rain out at the airport. We know that some of you got more than that. We'll be talking about tomorrow's rain, and then we'll be talking about that cold front that everybody's talking to me about. We'll have all that coming up in a moment. Well, good evening, everybody. We all of a sudden had a lot of moisture roll back in that got actually pushed out to sea over the hot weekend we had. So today it all came back in, loose environment. We got all that shower activity. We do have this stationary front. That means it's not going this way. It's kind of stalled right there. So it's actually going to push back up as a warm front. But from North Texas up, boy, are they having fun. Look at that, fall-like temperatures up here in this blue area. They are having a wonderful time as the temperatures have really taken on a fall characterization. What about us? Not yet, almost, but soon. Now here is Victoria, and you can see that at this hour of the night we have some showers still left up in the Hallettsville area and also some activity out there west of San Antonio. Earlier in the day we had a big thunderstorm that just came up Highway 59. I'm pretty sure it was over Fannin, Goliad, and Raisin coming up the road, and it was pretty heavy. At this hour, this is the latest one we have, and that's the one that's headed up toward Hallettsville. So there are a few lingering showers. Most of that will be decreasing, and early in the morning we'll start seeing the first bands start to come ashore. Now here's what I was talking about. Here's Victoria County, you can see right there, and then you go west, and you go to Fannin and Cologne all the way to Goliad, and they probably had swath of 2 inches of rainfall and 45-mile-an-hour winds as those thunderstorms got going there for a while. But then, you know, they collapsed and all everything settled down. Now this is tomorrow. Here's our little front right there. Well, I mean, imaginary. But south of it is where all the tropical area is, and that's why we've got a pretty good chance of getting additional shower activity tomorrow. Okay, that's your Wednesday. So we'll talk about the weekend coming up in a moment. First, we'll take a look at the Gulf of Mexico, and as you can see, still this is the stormy weather, but no tropical activity out here or in the Caribbean. There's one system, Tropical Storm Fernand, which is really going out there in the middle of nowhere, out in the northern Atlantic, and I don't know, it may wind up in Ireland for all we know. But the really weird thing about all this is that for most of the season, the tropics have been very quiet. Then all of a sudden for 2 weeks, they got very active, and now they're quiet again. I don't know, it's just kind of interesting. We'll take a look at our future tracker, and you can see how the remnant showers that we have now, we go forward into the morning hours, and then you see this big surge, tropical moisture moving ashore. So we may have showers before lunchtime, so keep that in mind if you're going to be working outdoors. You may have to just sort of dodge in and out of that activity. Then in the afternoon it blooms, and then it collapses at night, and then we'll do that all over again. But as we get to the weekend, things are going to be different. We've got some drier days coming up. So scattered showers tomorrow, a 91 as a forecast high in Port Lavaca. In Cuero, you're getting up to about 89 as well, and that's not bad. I mean, it's the only way we can keep the temperature out of the upper 90s. But here's the interesting part. We've got 50% tomorrow. Then we sort of shut it down. It gets really hot and steamy there for Thursday, Friday, and half of Saturday. Sunday, we have a front coming through, yes, but it's only going to knock the temperature down about 5 or 8 degrees for next week. All right, so don't pull the sweaters out just yet. Friday night, however, it's going to be interesting because lots of sports people are going to be busy, and that is why we have Max here to tell you all about it. Max?
That's right there, Mac. Again, a couple days, and you're saying it looks like some nice weather, so I can't wait there for football Friday nights, but again, no rain in the forecast for that. And we have 2 top football games to look out for on Friday night as well. We'll tell you both of those coming up in sports. Crossroads yesterday, we highlighted our game of the week between the Edna Cowboys and the Industrial Cobras. Well, we have two other big games we're going to watch in week one. First, with the Cuero Gobblers battling out the Columbus Cardinals on the road. This match will consist of Cuero's high-powered offense led under quarterback Jackson Marine, also top wide receiver threat Walker Dietz. And the Cardinals, they got a lot of returners back in the defensive side, even though they lost a couple stars in the offense in quarterback Adam Schubel and four-star commit that went to Arizona State and Grayson Rigdon. So who will win that challenge? We'll have to see on Friday night. Another top battle in two-way where the state champion Ganado Indians, they open the season on the road versus the Van Fleck Leopards. And Ganado heads in losing their top quarterback from last year, Bryce Ullman, but they have a very capable backup in Landon Arriaga, who started the first three games actually last year for the Indians while Ullman was recovering back from an ankle injury. So it's going to be huge to watch how he does for a full season. Also top threats in Austin Pena, Logan Burrs look to become impact players as well for the Indians. The team for Ganado is destined to make another run to the state championship this season. I mentioned two of those players here for our viewer poll, or I asked her which wide receiver you think will be an impact player in the week one action. We have Ganado's Austin Pena, like I mentioned, Shiner's Jarvis Williams, Cuero's Walker Dietz, Victoria West's Tristan Menard, and other. And we had kind of similar, 56% was other, and now it's pretty much the same. We got 55% there at other, 18% choosing for Austin Pena. So a lot of other people think will be not on my list. So we'll have to see. And there's one comment that we got there that actually chose their Austin Pena as well. We look out here from Calvin in Edna. It looks like we had, and actually do not have that there, but we did have a comment that did say that he was very proud of Austin Pena. Congrats for what he did. So again, props up to see how that goes and for both of those teams. Now from football to volleyball action, we're undefeated the West Warriors. They battled St. Joseph Lady Flyers, where the Warriors look to make some noise going into this season, but West would win there in three sets, 25-23, also 25-23, and then 25-19 out there in the third set. They got big production. Christian Leichner, who had 11 kills tonight and then 13 digs. And they would also get big production for the Flyers and Mayla Montgomery. But the star of the game went out there to Isabella Bazell, who had 8 kills there tonight, 18 digs, and actually had 1 ace. And also, keep an eye on the in-play efficiency. Had 20.8% there in in-play efficiency for Bella Bazell. So congrats out there. And West still undefeated this season. So after the game, though, I still had a chance to talk with West head coach Garrett Gomez about how they feel about battling some of that adversity from tonight's contest and what that's going to take going the rest of the season.
Tonight, Parker went down and I pulled the girls in and I said, it doesn't matter, we're going to keep going, we're going to keep playing. We're going to make sure that we keep playing Warrior volleyball. We're going to make sure that we still come together as a team. We have to have that unity. That's what's going to push us over the edge. And something clicked with them and they were ready to play together.
Now Gomez is proud of this team's success, and again, they won their first ever Bastrop tournament back there last week, and that was the first one in school history. Looking to make some similar success going into the College Station tournament that's going to start there this Thursday. Over out to Goliad, where the Tigerettes, they battled the Industrial Cobras, and it was a top 25 battle in the 3A ranks. Goliad win this one in 3 sets, 25-12, 25-10, and then 25-9. Addison Gendry had 17 kills, and also Isabel Sanchez had 29 assists to get the job done. And the Tigerettes look to turn the page as they host the Goliad tournament there this weekend. And that's going to do it here in sports. Don and Shauna, back to you.
Max, thank you, and stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 10, we'll take a last look at your weather. Plus, a Missouri senior is crowned a first-time queen. How her victory is breaking barriers.
Watch tonight, because I said so.
Daddy's working on them.
You know, I always thought you just played a geek, but now I'm starting to believe it's real.
Oh, no, yeah, I'm not cool.
It is never too late to dream. A 100-year-old Missouri woman won her first pageant on Monday in her first ever pageant. Rada Lou Miller Camp was crowned 2025 Miss Missouri Long-Term Care. She was all smiles upon her return to her long-term care facility in Jackson. The title celebrates the life and legacy of residents who live in long-term care facilities in the Show Me State. As a pageant queen, Miller Camp will get to do some work alongside Missouri lawmakers on the State House floor.
Very cool.
Yeah, leaving a lasting impact.
Liftoff. We finally have liftoff. SpaceX finally launched its 10th test flight of its giant Starship rocket at Starbase, Texas, near Brownsville. During today's launch, Starship made it through separation and the Super Heavy rocket booster landed in the Gulf near the facility. It's a huge win for the company. SpaceX CEO Elon Musk hopes Starship will transport humans to Mars for the first time. Wow. NASA is also banking on the vehicle as a means of bringing astronauts to the moon in this decade.
Big promises.
So they're making a lot of headway, it looks like, in deep South Texas, not only just for the people there who are making a lot of money there in South Texas, but for NASA. Now, we remember the days of moon landings, and we could see them soon, maybe, I don't know.
What I remember about that NASA era was that they were very cautious, very careful, very deliberate. These guys are just popping them up every week, you know. See what happens.
Let's try again.
You shoot this one up, see how it does.
Well, the unmanned one, yes.
Fortunately. Yeah. Well, folks, we are looking at more showers for again tomorrow afternoon, maybe even early in the morning. So it's kind of a day when you'll be dodging rain shower activity. Then it gets hot for 2 days, which is okay because Friday is a big day here all around the Crossroads. A lot of football happening Friday night. And then we have that little cool front coming in on Sunday. It's going to knock the temperature down to maybe 89, maybe 88. I don't know. We'll be hopeful for that. I guess we'll take anything we can get, huh?
Yes.
It's kind of like the SpaceX rockets. The showers just kind of pop up. All right, well, it's sweet, juicy, and one of summer's favorite fruits. Wednesday is National Peach Day. Whether you enjoy them fresh, baked into a cobbler, or canned for later, the fruit's history dates back 4,000 years, originating from China and Central Asia. Back then, they weren't only a delicious food, they were an expensive and highly traded commodity. Thank goodness they're not anymore. Peaches arrived in the U.S. in the 17th century, and there are endless ways to celebrate the day.
Peaches are...
Yeah, get some peaches before they're out of season.
Absolutely, they're great, love them, always have.
Well, thanks for joining us tonight.
Join 25 News Now Sunrise, Carolina and Parker at 5 a.m. Jimmy Kimmel Live starts now.